taps into
pretty girls sell. Pretty girls sell ass. I feel like somebody grabbed the random crackhead from around the corner and threw a wig on him. Cause what is this?
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. He told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heated up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
We got some Blackyy speaks, man. You know I always got to check out some Blackyy speaks. So he dropped this video, Sexyy Red is getting replicated. Why are we replicating Sexyy Red? What could he possibly mean by this? Is there like another Sexyy Red? Is there a Sexyy Red clone that came out? Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, let's be real. The whole like hood princess, ratchet, like you know, freak, that whole aesthetic, that's not like, Sexyy isn't the first to do what she did, you know what I mean? So if you're just trying to say that another female artist who's also putting sex at the forefront of her bars, I'm not gonna be surprised.
Sexyy Red is a rapper I covered a few months ago in my video, The Dysfunction of Sexyy Red. In that video, we explored who she was, why she became so controversial, and the message her brand represents. Fast forward to now, and Sexyy Red isn't being talked about nearly as much as she was just a few months ago. Her hype,
yeah, you true. That's right.
Hype has undeniably died down, and it's wild to see how quickly things can shift for an artist whose name is built primarily on a gimmick. Sexyy Red is a rapper who blew up largely because of her unapologetically, unfiltered, raunchy, and sexually provocative music. That rawness played a huge role in why she caught the public's attention. But
yeah, because when she first popped out, everybody was talking about how like this was so outrageous. This was like, you could see the vision she had, bro. People were talking about, yo, this is nasty, this is too much, she doing too much, da. Whole time they doing exactly what she wanted them to do, or what her label wanted them to do. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy how some people got this down to a science. It's so easy to predict how some people are going to react to something.
As her influence begins to wane, there's something bigger at play. Sexyy Red's brand has sparked a trend, one where the industry seems to be replicating her persona and turning it into a caricature of the black woman in hip-hop. Some of the controversy Sexyy Red has been involved in.
Oh yeah, she went to go speak at a high school. What high school said, oh, let's get Sexyy Red? Like, what? That was crazy.
Which we've discussed, like her pulling up to school.
She literally flipped up and threw out cane. Like, come on, bro.
She was banned because she allegedly smelled like weed. And people
you got, it's Sexyy. Okay, let's defend Sexyy Red. Her name is Sexyy Red, bro. You knew exactly who you was booking. Like that. Let's not play pretend. Out of all the things, she got banned for smelling like weed.
What a teacher by publicly calling her out are just a few of the stories that have kept her name in the headlines. Despite the
STD. Yo,
the teacher by publicly calling her out are just a few.
Yo, this is crazy work, bro. This is imagine having to be in a position where you had to deny, like where niggas were speculating you had an STD. Like, that's crazy work, bro. Like, why would you know that?
A few of the stories that have kept her name in the headlines.
I just want to know I just kind of want to know what had people thinking she had an STD. Is it because is it because they think that she looked like she dirty or something? Like, okay, bro.
Despite the backlash, it's clear that Red's wave has been impactful enough to spark real conversations about her influence in the music industry. It's no secret that Sexyy Red is backed up by major corporations.
Definitely.
Has significant funding behind her brand. Given that level of support, I think we'll see at least one more major push to elevate her career in the coming year. I think the level of return the corporations see on their investment in her will ultimately determine how much we hear her name in the coming years. For now, things have been relatively quiet on her end. A few weeks ago, I came across a clip on social media featuring a female rapper whose name I actually don't know. The clip went viral on X.
he does Imagine getting put in a Blackyy speakz video and he doesn't even know your name.
Formerly known as Twitter. And let's just say that the rapper's entire persona,
look at her shirt, bro,
felt like a carbon copy of Sexyy Red. It's clear that the industry is doubling down on his formula.
So they're pushing Sexyy Red to the side and they're trying to make a new person because they feel like Sexyy Red's already worn out her stay. Jesus, bro. Like, this is just, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
It's almost as if they're trying to recreate the same type of buzz Sexyy Red had, but with a fresh face to keep the cycle going. Like I mentioned earlier, Sexyy Red has undeniably made an impact in the music industry, so much that it seems like she's already being replicated. And as for this female rapper, like I said, I have no clue who she is, and honestly, I don't care to know.
Yeah.
But there are a few things I noticed right away. First of all, the branding. Sexyy Red, as we all know, is a black woman who's heavily tattooed. She's a hood chick, she's raunchy, and has an unapologetic persona. Part of the reason why Sexyy Red's virality works so well is that she fully owns who she is.
It's because all of the little social media thoughts could relate to her. Sexyy Red makes the music that lets you feel like that lets you bring out your inner thought. That's all that is, bro. Oh my goodness gracious. Everybody who's ever gone to a public high school has known a Sexyy Red. Like, let's be real. If you went to a public high school, you knew a girl who acted just like this. Maybe minus the tattoos, but you knew a girl who would, like, every time a song come on, her ass is up in the air.
There's no holding back. To go
I ain't mad at it though. Like, if it works, it works.
viral these days, you do need thick skin. And I feel like Sexyy Red has that on lock. She's put
Definitely. I don't think I've ever seen her tweak out about nothing.
herself in countless situations where she's opening herself up to criticism, and yet she keeps pushing forward. And let's be real, success, especially on social media, brings a lot of hate.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. And it don't even matter what you do. It don't matter what you do. You could have genuine talent. You could do something that's a complete 100% positive for the world, and somebody out there is gonna find a way to hate on it. It's insane. It's insane. I don't want to even imagine the kind of comments this girl would get. She probably just literally didn't even read them.
That's something we all know. Just look at that girl who cooks on TikTok. I had no idea who she was until I saw a bunch of women hating on her. It's like the more successful
Cooking with kind of not even cute just got at. Okay, look, bro. Cooking with Kaya didn't do nothing, okay? And you can't get mad at cooking for Kaya because yo nigga is thirsting over it. Like, that's not her fault. Like, that's not her fault, okay? Like, what? Let's relax. I've never even watched the video. I know that sounds. Wait, I already know how niggas gonna be. He just saying that because he got. No, bro. I've never watched a Cooking with Kaya video. I've never did. I've seen a clip on TikTok. So I'm just saying, I've seen way more posts of people talking shit about Cooking with Kaya. Okay, I like y'all acting like she jumping through the screen and grinding on y'all man, bro. Like, relax.
you are, the more you become a target, especially if your brand stands out as much as Sexyy Red's does. Another thing about this particular clip is, of course, the extremely raunchy lyrics. For starters, if you look at the screen, she's wearing a shirt that boldly says, "I love dick." For the lyrics, let's just say that they're very explicit, and I'm not even going to repeat them by myself. Instead, I'll let the clip speak for itself.
Do that hang low. If it do, I want some more. Can you in my guts? Can I put it in my mouth? Can I see it while you from the back? I want to know. Do your hang low?
Aside
They about to say she got STDs. I hate. That sounded way meaner than I thought it was going to. I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. That's crazy. I can see why people. Okay, bro.
aside from the extremely vulgar lyrics, if you'd have noticed, the song structure is actually based on nursery rhymes. This is a common strategy used
This song is catchy. Sorry. Okay,
to market certain artists to the masses. Those familiar melodies taps into
Pretty girls sell.
the
Pretty girls sell ass.
subconscious.
I feel like somebody grabbed the random crackhead from around the corner and threw a wig on him. And cause okay, bro. I mean, I'm being so mean. I apologize. I don't even know this girl. She could be a really nice person, for real.
And especially kids, making the song memorable and easy to repeat. This ties directly into the conversation because if you remember, there was that story about
coochie for sale
and easy to repeat. This ties directly into the conversation because if you remember,
come on, bro.
Making the song memorable and easy to repeat. This ties directly into the conversation because if you remember,
sell it, coochie for sale. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, I swear to God, they just picked her up off the street. There's no way. There's no way.
There was that story about the teacher I mentioned, and she spoke about how the young girls in her class were singing Sexyy Red songs.
I remember this.
5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski.
Yeah, that's absolutely outrageous. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear no type of defense. That's just irresponsible. Like, come on, bro. A 5-year-old listening to a song about how girls gotta let their coochies breathe. Like, what? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What songs were you listening to when you were 5? Crazy, bro.
I don't want to see little 5-year-olds trying to twerk to Pound Town. And you guys think that it's cute.
That shit is not cute at all, bro.
Part of the reason for this is because Sexyy Red has been marketed towards...
I barely like it when grown women are doing it. Like, trying to twerk it to Pound Town. Like, okay, bro.
Kids. Specifically young black girls. A big part of that strategy comes from making her image more colorful and visually appealing. It's similar to what we've seen with Ice Spice, but for her, this approach has worked perfectly because Ice Spice naturally exudes a very girly and feminine vibe. She's way more marketable to a younger audience.
She did the more, I don't want to say classy, she did the more like clean cut route. The clean cut thought. Sexyy Red is the thought you probably could run into at high school when you was in high school. The thought that you probably ran into in the college campus. I think that's why Sexyy Red had that appeal. Like, you know what I mean? Because every like thought that was a thought on the low was like, she speaks to me, like, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not mad. Look, I'm not mad if somebody is a hoe or a thought. I think the world needs more hoes, if you ask me personally. You know, it's just don't hide it. Just don't hide it.
Partially due to colorism, but mostly because her image is more polished. Unlike Sexyy Red, Ice Spice isn't covered in tattoos, and her persona doesn't rely on what some might call low-class behavior. Her image all about her face and her cheeks. Like, that was it. Let me clarify, this isn't about skin color, it's about behavior. Cardi B, for an instance, has a lighter skin complexion, but if you look at how she carries herself, you'll realize that Cardi B is the definition of low class.
She is.
It's not just about appearance, it's about the overall image and how it resonates with the audience being targeted. The lucrativeness of pushing someone like Sexyy Red is undeniable. Black culture as a whole has been exploited by the entertainment industry in ways that are almost impossible to fully articulate.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because if knowing that a label was behind her, it was most likely behind her doing all this, pushing her to be like this. Like they looked at the typical stereotype of a hood black girl, and then they just emphasized the hell out of it and gave it to Sexyy Red, and it worked, unfortunately. So as much as the stereotype sucks, y'all niggas are kind of proving people right. I don't know.
What's even more disheartening is that many of these corporations know exactly what they're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
They profit off of the stereotypes.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The stereotypes, some of these stereotypes, as awful as they are, some of y'all niggas be proving these stereotypes right. It's like, yo. Whatever, bro. Whatever. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. That's all I got to say. I'm going to let Blackyy speak.
controversy and spectacle, all while disregarding the deeper cultural implications. There's a reason why a Sexyy Red is in the position she's in, and the same goes for many of the male
If you show me a white Sexyy Red, yeah.
rappers who are elevated in similar ways. This isn't just a conversation about women in the game. It's a universal issue that impacts the entire industry, and I want to make that very clear. The biggest problem with this dynamic is how the worst parts of the community are amplified and put on massive platforms. These corporations aren't just showcasing it. They're actively encouraging.
Because it'd be different. See, and this is where I like to make the distinction, right? Because it would be completely different if Sexyy Red was completely an independent artist doing this. Because it's just like, okay, she's just, you know what I'm saying, she's just being herself. But when you add the fact that it's a whole industry behind her, it's a whole company behind her, it's a bunch of businessmen in suits putting their fingers and they're like, yes, make her shake more ass. Like, when you know that's going on behind it, it's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? They're clearly just playing into a stereotype, and it's just so happened to work. It's just so happened to work. You know what I'm saying? If Sexyy Red didn't have a whole industry push behind her and she was completely independent, I wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be having this conversation, because we would be like, okay, yeah, that's ratchet, but I mean, that's just who she is. It's different when you add corporations and stuff to it.
These artists to promote dysfunctional behaviors and ideas, turning them into spectacles for profit while ignoring the real harm it causes. A lot of people don't even blink when they see stuff like this anymore because it's been so normalized. We've already...
Yeah, think about Sexyy Red definitely could not exist back in like the early 2000s or maybe the 90s even. Sexyy Red could not exist. I personally feel like, you know, like maybe the songs, maybe some of her songs, but the actual acts and stuff, the tattoos and all, nah, bro, Sexyy Red could not exist back then.
We talked about how hip-hop as a whole has been exploited, how the lifestyle has been commodified and monetized by corporations, and we all know the negatives that come with that. The harsh reality is that the artist doesn't even own the music. Instead, there's an executive somewhere making tens of thousands of dollars every single minute and putting his grandkids through college off of the dysfunction that these artists are encouraged to promote.
Exactly. It's a whole out of touch, got nothing to do with the community executive who's telling this black woman to be as ratchet as possible, put on the most colorful wigs, and shake the most amount of ass physically capturable on a camera. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it would be different if everybody was independent and they were just being themselves, but it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you know that most of these people are probably not even like this behind closed doors, for real. You know, they're literally playing a character. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy what money will do to certain people.
Sure, someone like Sexyy Red wins in the sense that she gets to be rich, successful, and famous, but at what cost? To sell yourself and your people out? Personally, I don't think it's worth it, but then again, if I was offered millions of dollars to do what she's doing...
Yeah, let's not pretend, like, let's not hate on... That's why I'm not mad at Sexyy Red. I'm more mad at the industry itself. Because let's be honest, bro, like, most people are not going to turn down millions and millions of dollars to stand on morals. Like, come on, bro, these morals are not finna pay the bills. Like, I'm finna shake some ass. But it's just the fact that this is even an option in the first. This is a crazy freeze frame. That's even crazier. Whatever. It's the fact that this is even an option at all that's kind of messed up about it.
I don't think it's worth it, but then again, if I was offered millions of dollars to do what she's doing, who knows? Maybe I'd feel differently. It's a tough call. Now, this formula or experiment, if you will, is never gonna fail. Because at its core, part of the reason why artists with this archetype, especially in the black community, find so much success is because people of all races are drawn to what they perceive as cool. And to a lot of different demographics, Sexyy Red represents that cool factor, especially for non-black individuals who idolize black entertainers.
I'm not even gonna say nothing about that. Let's just say, Sexyy Red does not represent a large chunk of black women. Let's just say that. I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you thought that she did, You know what I'm saying?
Sexyy Red suddenly becomes a lens into what they think it's like to be a part of black culture. It's the closest they can get to without actually being a part of it. And that allure fuels her appeal across different audiences.
And see, I'm not even mad at that interest. Like, I'm like, yeah, bro, like, black culture is so fun, so interesting, so unique, dynamic. I understand why people want to learn more about it. I understand why people want to be a part of it, bro. If you see a group of black people turning up, you want to turn up with them. Like, I ain't mad at that. It's just, why does it have to be the most ratchet, the most ghetto parts of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's so many creative black people out there, and it seems like the stereotypes are the ones that get the biggest bouts of success sometimes. And that's all I'm saying. It's just, whatever, bro.
Now, aside from that particular group we were just talking about, someone like Sexyy Red also resonates with a lot of young girls who look up to her and aspire to be like her. With the right amount of marketing and hype, it's easy to tap into that targeted audience. And if there's one thing these corporations have, it's the resources to push names like Sexyy Red into the mainstream spotlight. However, there will come a time, and it might be sooner than you think, when they stop pushing her. Why? Well, let's just say
when the fad dies out. When the fad dies out. Because as much as it seems like a staple in hip-hop culture right now, you know what I'm saying, we don't know when the over-sexualization angle is going to get played out, because it's going to happen. You know, society changes. Like, me personally, I think society always has a huge shift every, like, 10, 20 years, and we're closer to 2030 than we are to 2020 now. So, well, we're about halfway there. So I would not believe it. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a strength, like a good shift in the culture. You know what I'm saying? Because I think everybody and their mama can agree that the over-sexualization of everything is extremely played out. It's like, it's everywhere. It's getting to the point where we're not as shocked by it. It's not as unique or interesting anymore. The super over-the-top sexy stuff, it's starting to be not that big of a deal no more. It's starting to be normalized. And once it gets normalized, it starts getting boring. And then something else has to be done to re-spark that interest. So, I don't know. I don't know where it'll go from here, but I don't see it going this direction too much further. But I don't know.
Say that once the return on their investment isn't there, she will no longer be a priority. It's a cycle that happens to every artist, regardless of the motives behind their rise to fame. Like a lot of us know, most artists stay on top for just 2 to 3 years. And unfortunately, between that 3rd and 4th year is often when they get shelved. Yeah. It's a harsh reality, but that's usually when many artists realize that they're not as special as they thought.
That's why it's so, because the industry is so cutthroat. The minute that the numbers start to look like they're going down, yeah, buddy, you are done. You're gonna want to break out that record deal. Like, that's why it's so, man, that's why you got to make sure you read the fine print of anything before you sign it. Because sometimes people don't realize, yeah, it's going to be, when it's good, it's really good. But once it starts getting bad, nigga, you going to want to crash out when a record deal starts getting bad for you. Like, no amount of money can, like, make a lot of people put up with the bad sides of a record deal.
This is why I always say it's very risky to lean on a gimmick. It's fickle and unsustainable. The smartest move any artist can make is to build a genuine connection with their audience. At the end of the day, that's what makes you unique.
A gimmick should be a gimmick. Like, a gimmick should be something that can die out, but the artists themselves were not created from the gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, every artist goes through a phase. You know, you got to look at Tyler, the Creator. You know, if you were to show me Saint Chromatica, or however you pronounce it, like right now, if you were to go back all the way to where Tyler had just dropped that video where he was eating the cockroach, and you showed me this album and said, this is going to be Tyler, the Creator in the future, I would not believe you. You know what I'm saying? If you were to show me back in the day what Kanye West is now, I would not believe you. I wouldn't want to believe you. But that's because I was young and I didn't realize what was going on with Kanye back then. But either way, every artist goes through a phase.
It's also what helps you stick with your tribe and maintain longevity. And the fact that we're seeing Sexyy Red being replicated tells me one thing.
From the block.
The industry is working overtime in the factory. They're desperately trying to find artists, particularly women, who fit this exact mold they can pour money into and push to the mainstream.
I bet if I looked hard enough, I could probably find that video. But I'm still debating if I actually really want to hear it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because all I'm saying is singing, asking somebody's wiener hangs low is like insane work. Like, that's my first impression of you. You know, like, I don't even know if I even want to give it the listen. Like, I want to hear it, but I don't want to like give it no time. I'm confuddled, bro.
The silver lining is that people are more aware of these
got a top 15 debut on Billboard with Apple Music streams only. Something is definitely wrong. Jesus.
Tactics now, because people like me are talking about it, right? When situations like this arise, many of us who pay attention can't help but think, wait, I've seen that before. And that's when the bells start ringing and the audience, you begin to question the authenticity of what's being marketed to you.
See, a good thing about nowadays is that a lot of the tactics that record labels used are now kind of like an open secret. Because back in the day, you obviously didn't have any idea that all of this was happening. But nowadays, you know, if you just look into any artist just a little bit deeper than their surface level, you can smell, you'll be able to smell the fish. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Sexyy Red smell like fish. Never mind, bro.
At the end of the day, this kind of thing only works when people aren't aware of the intentions behind promoting a certain type of artist.
Yeah, yep.
9 times out of 10, if there's significant funding behind someone's name and they have a gimmick and their archetype resembles others who've been heavily promoted by the corporations in the past, it's definitely something worth questioning.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, these patterns are not random and they're always worth paying attention to. Anyway, if you guys made it this far, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Like always, if you enjoyed this video, of course, drop a like on it. Also, I was looking at my analytics and it looks like...
Shout out Blackyy. Nah, you don't gotta even talk about the analytics. I'm already subbed up, my boy. Yeah. Look at this, bro. Sexyy Red reminds me of the loud girl in school eating Cheetos 7 a.m. loud as fuck. I told you, everybody knows a Sexyy Red. If you went to public school, you know a Sexyy Red. Okay. That's it. All right. But yeah, shout out Blackyy. Dude always got some great conversation topics. I love talking about hip hop culture. Love this. That's why you're gonna see, you can expect a lot of hip hop related reaction videos on this channel. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that right now. But yeah, man, if y'all got opinions, bro, don't be scared to share them down too. Like I love having discussions with people about this because it's kind of like an interesting thing to me. But yeah, man, y'all have a beautiful day. Peace.